Well, this is the latest that we are now picking up on the Seemapuri IED recovery that has been made. We can now confirm military-grade RDX has been recovered by the Delhi Police Special Cell. Top sources now indicating that the IED was essentially sneaked in from Pakistan. There is a clear signature as far as the IED assembly of is concerned, and sources indicating that this perhaps could not have been assembled here in India. This has been sneaked in from Punjab, Rajasthan or Kashmir. These are the patterns that have essentially emerged. Or whether this particular IED that has been recovered from Seemapuri, whether it is from Rajasthan, Punjab or Kashmir, that is not known. But the sources certainly indicating that this has basically been coming in from Pakistan itself. And we are also being told that 2.2 kilogram, that's 2.2 kilogram of RDX has been recovered. You are looking at a triggering case of an iron cast of about 800 meters is what we are being told. Essentially, this entire recovery that has taken place is good enough to cause a huge damage. The fact of the matter is that this is just about 40 meters away from the UP border. And that is the reason why when we say a major terror attack has been averted, they were also looking at some other places where these attacks could have been carried out. But these 3 to 4 terror suspects, they are on the run right now. But the Delhi Police Special Cell, they are saying that they are close on the heels to arrest them very soon.
Right, absolutely. As you're pointing out, this sheer amount of the explosives is huge. Let's also bring in Anane, who's reporting from Seemapuri right now. Anane, as we were pointing out, the amount of explosives that have been found, particularly RDX, is mind-boggling. Now, the route that it was taken is, of course, also under investigation.
Well, yes, Nupur rightly pointed out, and in fact, as Chavan was pointing it out, it was a military-grade RDX. And if I show you around this area what damage it could have done, it is a very close-quartered area of the old Seemapuri. This is the house. I'll ask my camera person to show you. This is the house from where this IED was recovered, and 3 to 4 people is what we are being told were residing into this area. They were not interacting much with the locals, and in fact the landlord has also been quizzed by the special cell of the Delhi police. But what sources have clearly told us is that it was a 2.5 to 3 kgs of ammonium nitrate mixture, very similar to what was there in the Ghazipur flower market, and it has been smuggled. The RDX and the sophisticated IED, which can only be developed in a state like Pakistan, have been transported through the border areas illegally, and later on these there is also being suspicion that there could be a role of the sleeper cells in this. And we'll have to wait and watch as to what the Delhi Police Special Cell comes out after it completes its probe and comes to a crackdown or a breakthrough with regards to the people who they arrest. But what is certainly known and what we can certainly see is that why this particular house must have been chosen is because, first of all, it's a very close-quartered area. Not even 2 vehicles in a lane can pass together. Apart from that, the whole lane, as we saw and as we surveyed this area, has no CCTV cameras installed. So there would have been a good recce done by these people, and this could have only been done by people who are trained to do to carry out such blasts or to carry out such explosions. Because remember, if the IED was active, the people were around this area only, because IEDs are usually closely triggered, and the person who is triggering the IED has to be in a close-quartered area in order to trigger this, and hence this area would have been chosen. But then what sources are confirming, as Chavan was also pointing out, a military-grade RDX which could have been transported through the borders of Jammu, of Rajasthan and of Punjab, and this is a major terror threat that have been averted by a joint operation of the Special Cell, the NSG and the officials of the NIA, which was not even 40 meters away from the UP borders, and at a time when the elections are around the corner, it is a big success for the security forces.
Absolutely. Shravan, if I could come to you on that part where, Anane was pointing out that this could be a larger conspiracy, and the police also at this point, along with other investigating agencies, looking at how this could be part of a sleeper cell network. And we have, also other clues that indicate that there was a larger conspiracy at play, perhaps?
Well, there's absolutely no doubt about one fact, Nupur. That is, there was a larger ploy that has now been foiled by the investigative agencies. But the challenge essentially remains that 3 to 4 such terror suspects are still on the run. But let's just put this together for all our viewers who are tuning in, why this becomes very important and significant in terms of the fact that there is yet another attempt that is being made by Pakistan to try and interfere in the election process. The reason being that you have the IED recovery that has basically taken place 40 meters from the UP border. And that is the reason why when sources within the Delhi Police Special Cell are saying that right at the dip of the time, we are looking at this particular case has been cracked. But having said that, whether at all there were other sleeper cells that have been activated, that is not very clear, Nupur. But one is certainly pointing towards the fact that you have one module that has been working, at least for multiple such IEDs that were assembled and also placed. You're talking about what has happened on 29th of January, the evening, when there an explosion took place in a parking area in Kullu. Now, wire that was basically used, there is a similarity of the wire that is also found in Punjab and now in Ghazipur Mandi. And that is the reason why, over a period of time, when the Delhi Police Special Cell, they were working on these terror suspects. These terror suspects have been under the radar for quite some time. In fact, there have been certain digital footprints that have also been accessed by the Delhi Police Special Cell, and they are only saying that at the time that they reached the Seemapuri building, on the second floor where these terror suspects were actually staying, they had left from that particular place. But having said that, a quick update, Nupur, and this is very, very important, very crucial, and one would say this is the RDX alert that one would be staring at. 2.2 kilogram of ammonia nitrate has been recovered by the Delhi Police Special Cell. There is an iron casing, aluminum iron casing, that has also been recovered by the Delhi Police Special Cell. And sources also indicating that this is a military grade IED that has been recovered, which only goes on to indicate that this was sneaked in from across the border.
Absolutely. Shravan, in fact, it also indicates how worrisome the situation is now. The police also have intercepted several dozen suspicious phone calls that have been actually led them to the spot. Both of you, Anane as well as Shravan, thank you for joining us.